Goer's younger sister, Note weeded his fields in half a day. Once while she was engaged in this work, Ilkhanokma Gangi Banja, the patriarchal head of the Mantises, became violently enamored of her beauty. For Note was indeed very beautiful. Her face was like a full moon in radiance, her teeth were like strings of pearls, her breath issuing from her coral lips was like myrrh, and she was as graceful as a mountain gazelle. Besides, she was a wise, modest, hard-working woman, so with the express intention of wooing her, Ilkhanokma came close to her and made known the secret longings of his heart. Note promptly spurned him and ultimately told her brother of the incident. Goera was beside himself with rage at the undue liberties taken with his beautiful sister. He rained down his fiery darts upon the Mantises and killed a great many of them. At length, headed by Ilkhanokma, a delegation came to him in a body and prayed for mercy. Goera pardoned them on the condition that they should forever remain in the same attitude of prayer which they now assumed. On the account, Mantises, who nowadays fail to obey this dictum, are struck by lightning with the tree or object on which they rest. At the approach of harvest time, Goera went to Kanmadota market. Note meanwhile gathered the harvest from the fields during his absence. The trace grains of paddy filled 7 granaries. When Goera came back home, he soberly asked his sister how much paddy she got from his fields. In her excessive joy over the rich harvest, Note felt inclined to be sportive at that moment. So she said jokingly to her brother, "The harvest from your fields was so poor that it hardly filled 1 dangpien." Now Goera was not at all accustomed to cut jokes. It was his wonted frame of mind to take things as they were stated to be, until strong evidence proved the contrary. So he took his sister at her word and inwardly fumed at such meager returns from his expansive fields. The mischievous damsel, on her part, enjoyed the joke and gave her brother no hint it was such. She went away with a big smile on her full moon face. Goera also possessed a hot and fiery temperament. He was wont to execute things in a straightforward manner and would not palaver much in anything. So in a moment of great rage, he at once rushed to the barn which supposedly contained his meager paddy returns and set it ablaze. The flames spread rapidly and soon became a great conflagration in which all the barns of the village with their newly gathered harvest were burned to the ground. The spot where these barns were consumed by fire is now known as Meibut Meibang. Goera's relations and fellow villagers now angrily remonstrated with him and reproached him publicly for his latest atrocity and manifestation of bad temper. At this time, he was much exposed to personal attacks. The young hero, however, did not take the world and its police too seriously. One day, Goera gathered together all his matrilineal relations and the people of the regions about, raised himself on a wisp of white cloud, and standing like a solitary warrior in full panoply, addressed them, saying, "I now go to the celestial regions from this world of dust and useless turmoil. I find it no longer necessary for me to live a dusty life among you. I take more delight in the dwellers of the high heavens, In the ethereal regions, I will remain as one of the immortals forever. My soul yearns for the infinite. Ye men and women are but shadow actors upon the screen of space. But while the universe lasts, everything exists in an eternal now. By the time Notichire, the goddess of rain, visits the earth, and when rain clouds gather and peacocks cry, completely enshrouded in clouds and rain, I will come to visit this world of yours. Then I will play pranks on trees or on whatsoever I shall be pleased to strike, by sending my arrows at them from my trusty bow. You will also notice flashes of light from my lamp when I flourish it in the execution of my martial exercises. You will hear deep rumbling noises caused by my steps when I dance in unison with the awful music of all space. Goera's listeners were deeply moved by his stirring words, for they now found that he spoke as if he were a man transformed into a god. Then the great hero, Goera, disappeared in the twinkling of an eye into the ethereal heavens, taking with him his hands, his beloved lamp, bow, and arrows. To the Achuks, Goera is the immortal and invincible god of thunder and lightning, the most extraordinary power in all the world or in the whole universe. The flashes of his mighty lamp lighting the earth and heaven with brief brilliance, and seen during cloudy and stormy weather, when loud rumbles and sudden claps of thunder are also audible. The destructive agent in a lightning flash is an arrow or shaft for Goera's bow. It is a hot, solid body which moves rapidly through space and impinges upon something. It is the thunderbolt stone known as Goerani Rongpra, the stone shaft of Goera. At least that is what the Achuks, the loyal worshippers of Goera, honestly proclaim.
Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe to my channel.